Okay, one of the garden chores that we have to do after the first flush of roses is over is prune, deadhead, and tame some of the canes that have been wildly growing this spring. I have my trusty rose gloves. I have sacrificed way too many droplets of blood to rose pruning. My mom picked these up for me for Christmas, and I absolutely love them. They're thick, yet they're flexible, so I can get in there. The only time I have to take them off is when I need to tie back some canes. So all I'm going to do today is prune, deadhead, and tie back. I just use garden tape, tie back some of the canes. Remember, with flowering roses, with climbing roses, you want to train the canes to go sideways because that's where the new shoots will come off, and that's where you get your blossoms. If you just let the canes just go straight up, you'll just get a clump of blossoms at the end of the cane. We want clumps at the entire vista that you're looking at. So the best way to do that is to bend the canes. So I'm going to run the video and then I'll explain what I'm doing after I'm all finished. All right, so wish me luck. It's pretty tight in there. So what I did was I just took some of these longer canes. See this guy here? And I just tied it back. And then there's another longer cane here. And I tied it back and I tried to make them go as sideways as possible. So the hope is that all along these two canes, new growth will shoot up and will pop off. So we should see all along this cane and all along this cane, new growth. Now, we're in June. So it'll be small growth, but you can see it happening all along the climbing rose anyway. It does put out new growth continuously, but next January, February, that's when I prune. That's when I can really get in there and start fine-tuning. I can't even deadhead. Look up there. I can't figure out quite how to reach up there. Also, you see my clematis was up there all along here, coming down here. I'm letting that stay because I love clematis seed pods. Here's one. Look how pretty that is. And then it will turn into like this big fluff ball. I just think that's so cool. Here's another one up there. Big fluff balls, which I think they're so cool, so I leave them on there. I don't know, I've heard things about pruning clematis. You should or you shouldn't, you do or you don't. I didn't. I actually have 3 varieties in here. I can't remember the names offhand, but I have previous videos on them. I have a big white one. I have a Jacomani, which is just finishing up there, that purple. And then, and part of what I just did allows this variety to shine. So this sweet little purple clematis is tucked in there. And as Eden finishes up its flush, and frankly I'm not quite sure if it will give me another one or not, given that I can't get up there and deadhead as well as I'd like to. You know, that's the signal to a rose to keep producing, right? The flowers turn into hips, they're seed pods. So by snipping off their ability to make seeds, that's what keeps roses blooming over and over again, and many flowers. So if I can't do that, then it might be like, okay, I'm done for the day. We'll see. I didn't really think about that, to be honest, when I put the roses on the trellis. So we'll have to see how things go. But here it is, and look at my Fort Bragg hydrangea. Oh, isn't this beautiful? Look at that. It's this beautiful fuchsia, pink, dark purple. It's the lace cap kind, so this stays in the middle, will stay like that, and I just get this fringe of flowers. And it's absolutely loaded with flowers for the first time. You know, I planted this in this, I guess this would be sort of north side of the fence. But I was thinking that, you know, all this would shade it. Well, the last few years, nothing was around it was tall enough to shade it, and it gets absolutely slammed by the worst part of the sun, the hot afternoon sun, and it would just burn to a crisp. So this year, we've had a very beautiful, cool summer, and my neighbor's amazing brown turkey fig tree has grown tall enough, and with my new trellis that I just put in, the roses and the clematis, everything has grown together to shade this hydrangea enough, there's actually two in there, enough that it's really showing off. And this is the best I've ever seen it look. I also gave it a ton of fertilizer because it was going too pink for me. So I gave it some soil acidifier, some hydrangea fertilizer. I like EB Stones organic. And boom, look at this. It's just about to pop. I'm so excited. I've been given some feedback that it's too crowded in here. I've got the 2 Eden climbers, the 3 clematis climbers, and then the 2 hydrangeas. Yeah, it's probably pretty crowded. What I think I do need to do is go in and prune the fig. We also have a fig. So you'll see here, there's our fig. That sort of intermingles with our neighbor's fig. Oh, look at, I see my first ripe fig up there. Yummy, yummy. But see, that's the problem. I can't reach that. I mean, I could haul a ladder out and get it, I guess, but that's a pain. So what I really want to do, and I keep doing every year, is trimming back the fig. But now I have all these little baby figs on it, so I'll wait for them to ripen and then I'll give it a good prune. And I want to prune it back. So you see here, figs are incredibly fast growers, you guys. So it's grown into the, I trimmed all this back in, I don't know, October, and it's all grown back. So figs go dormant, you know, their leaves turn to kind of a ugly yellow brown, and then they drop them, and then it's dormant, and then it flushes back in the spring. So I just need to get in here and clean this up a little bit, clean this back in here, allow for more air circulation. But you can see my Eden is completely healthy. We don't typically suffer with black spot here. I mean, it happens, of course, but it's pretty dry here in the Sacramento Valley of California, so we don't get a lot of black spot. And I've really tried to train the flowers and the clematis to go up. So where the hydrangeas here, where the hydrangeas and the roses meet, you saw me earlier, I tried to cut out some of the dead and some of the branches I didn't want them growing in there to allow for more air circulation in there. So far I think it's doing pretty good. All right, so I'll continue getting after this climbing rose, this Eden here. Maybe just from time to time I'll get out here and try to bring in some of these wayward branches, and if I remember, I'll try to do a video showing you how bending these canes sideways allows for new growth to pop up, and that might be the future blossoms of the late summer. Who knows? All right, everybody, thank you and have a wonderful day.